ঠিক আছে। জননীম শারদাম দেবী রামকৃষ্ণম জগদ্গুরুম পাদপদ্মে তয়ো শ্রিত্বা প্রণমামি মুহুর্মুহুঃ। নমঃ শ্রীয়তিরাজায় विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. Yeah, dear devotees, we were discussing Swami Vivekananda's talk, address in the Paramakudi. That is a small talk, but it is a very important, and very important in the sense he has given quite a good ideas actually. And if you see, in these lectures from Colombo to Almora, categorically Swamiji did three things actually. One is, he gave the history from the historical perspective. He gave the historical perspective, or right historical perspective about India and about the world history. This is one thing which he has given beautifully. So what is India, what is its history, and what is its significance or the strength, and what is its weakness or limitations? All things Swamiji has spoken very beautifully. Second thing, we also had a wrong understandings or ignorance about the West. Either it is everything is good or everything is bad, something like that. So Swamiji has given a wonderful overall picture of the Western civilization and Western countries from the historical perspective point. Second thing, Swamiji, through these lectures from Colombo to Almora, he instilled the confidence, self-confidence, Atma Vishwas, Atma Shraddha, Amra Boli. So he instilled the confidence in Indians about themselves, about their country, about their ancient wisdom and all. That's how the patriotism came into picture. Many times people ask, what did Swami Vivekananda do for Indian freedom movement? So he created the positivity or the self-confidence in themselves and about the country and etc. The second thing. Third thing, he also gave a wonderful exposition of the Vedanta or our Indian philosophy. Well, he didn't go to particular details like any Prakarana Grantha discussing or particular Upanishad or whatever, but the gist of the Indian philosophy, the gist of the Indian wisdom to the large audience, very beautifully he has put, or the main tenets of the Indian philosophy, he has been put in a very large scale from the broad spectrum. So these are the three things which I would like to tell. Now, if you remember earlier, he was talking about the world history actually, about sometimes Indian civilization, especially, and West civilization. And now the West is groaning under the tyranny of the Shylocks, and the East is groaning under the tyranny of the priest. Is it over, or from there should we start?
No, it was not over. Actually, we have the previous paragraph also we have not discussed. But
means if you look at India, are there comparables in the history of the human race?
If you look at India, from there we can discuss.
Okay. So same idea that is connected with the previous idea. So Swamiji is telling the world has been deluded, the world has been plunged. The world has been soaked with the two ideas. One is materialism, the other is spiritualism or religionism. So sometime across the world, across every civilization, sometime materialism became prevalent, and it has its own plus and minus points. Like people got money, so it was more freedom, and their living, the cost of living became better, and they got a lot of opportunities for work, and they got a lot of opportunities for merrymaking and all. But there was unhealthy competition, exploitism, and putting the knife on someone's head, on someone's neck for their enjoyment. And then how it was taken care, as if the whole civilization, whole country would have been crumbled into pieces. If at that point, so spiritual wave is to come into rescue. Spiritual wave is to come and is to dilute the problems of the materialism, and slowly, some peace was restored. Some basically what you say, goodness and peace, all these things were restored. And but in the name of spirituality, in the name of religion, there were some other problems because of the selfishness, because of the jealousy, and because of I am right, or my religion is only right, my philosophy is only right, and I am the custodian of that truth. I am the custodian of the prophet. I'm the custodian of that God or the incarnation. So claiming extreme exclusivism, by claiming that in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality, then their problems came, and because of that, society had to suffer again. Then how that was taken care? Again, materialism came into picture, and that was the problem of spiritual, so-called in the name of spirituality or religion. Whatever the problems were there, that were taken care. So sometimes it is oscillation between the materialism and the spiritualism. Now, extreme materialism, extreme spiritualism, both are wrong. Swamiji is telling very clearly. Then what should be there? There should be balance of materialism and spiritualism. See, that's where our Vedic view of life is given. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Purusharthas. Purusharthas means Purusha means not the man, masculine here. Purusha means living being or human being. Human being has to seek the four things. One is dharma, ethics, morality, duty, sense of duty, all these things. Then artha is all type of wealth, kama, all type of desires, Fourth is moksha or mukti. When these four is taken care, human gets self-development, and he gets a completedness. So in the Vedic knowledge, in the Vedic view of life, even after we having Upanishads, they never denied the worldly life. They never denied the materialistic life. Even see, if you see Sri Ramakrishna's case also, very subtle point this is, Sri Ramakrishna had said very clearly to Master Mahasaya, as you all know, Mahendra, if I felt that the world is real at any time, I would have covered the Kamarpukur, my birthplace Kamarpukur, with the golden covering, he had said. So for him, it was mithya, he was very clear about it. But at the same time, he never rejected the world in a derogative way. Oh, everything is problematic, everything is useless, everything is nonsense. In that derogative way, he never said that. World is mithya, he accepted from the Jnana point of view. From the Bhakti point of view, that is the mother's Leela, he accepted, no doubt. But he never rejected in a very derogative way or in a very lighter way. This is a thing which we have to learn from Sri Ramakrishna's life and Holy Mother's life also. So the notion of reality has to be loosened, switched over from the world to the spirit or the self, but we should not reject the world in a derogative way. So we need spirituality and we need material progress also for the existence of the civilization. How much ever we can say Advaita Vedantins and world is mithya and all, but for the civilization point of view, both are required. So only materialism is required, or spirituality is useless. That point is also, that stand is also not right. Spirituality is there enough, everything is enough. There is nothing else because everything is Brahman, Allah. If you take the other extreme step, that may be okay to individually, but it cannot be for the country or civilization. So we should have a balance. We need both. That is what Swamiji is telling. And just like the oscillation between the extreme materialism and the spiritualism, which swayed across the civilizations and the countries, even India was also not spared. In India also, these oscillations were there. That's what Swamiji was telling. If you look at India, our motherland, you will see that the same thing is going on now. That you are here today, welcome. One who went to Europe to preach Vedanta would have been impossible had not the materialism of Europe opened the way for it. Materialism has come to the rescue of India in a certain sense by throwing upon the doors of life to everyone, by destroying the exclusive privilege of caste, by opening up to discussion the inestimable treasures which were hidden away in the hands of a very few who have even lost of them. So, in the name of Veda, in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality, there were so many unwanted cults, unwanted habits, practices had come in, creeped in India. All these things are at stake now. All these things are being challenged by the reformers, religious reformers in India. Why? Because they were exposed, or we allowed the Westerners to come, Western views to come. So, West needs Indian spirituality, India needs Western ideas or Western knowledge. So both need each other. That is what Swamiji is telling very clearly. And that para end is telling very clearly, the Western world is governed by the handful of Shylocks. All those things that you hear about constitutional government, freedom, liberty, and parliaments are but jokes. Now, we need a constitution, we need a judiciary system, we need executives, we need a bureaucracy, we need a politics system or whatever. All these things are fine. How much ever we create a perfect system, but still, if we don't have a right people, then the country can go in vain. That's what Swamiji is telling. The West always, from Romans and Greeks, they always say that the Republicans were there and the democracy was there and they had a wonderful military system, economical system, whatever, the social systems and administrations basically. They're all proud of it. Well, we can take few things from them, but they are nothing but it is governed by handful of Shylocks. You know, whoever has read The Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare's drama, Merchant of Venice, there is a money lender who used to suck the blood of the people by lending the money. That is the word Shylock. Means the Western world is governed by the handful of Shylocks. They are the creators of all these rules and regulations and the laws. So they speak of freedom, they speak of liberty, parliament, all are nonsense or jokes. Just they use all of them to suck the blood of the common people, or they want to become rich, or to fulfill their desires. So don't think that the Western system is the completely perfect, and don't think that Indian system is also completely perfect. So every system has got its own plus and minus points. We have to understand, we have to retain our system, our inner core values, and we can borrow better things from other systems, and we can assimilate, and we have to grow. And Swamiji is telling very clearly next, the West is grooming under the tyranny of the Shylocks, and the East is grooming under the tyranny of the priesthood. So there also in the West also we see, because of French Revolution and all, if you see, there were also by landlords, by the kings and by the bureaucrats, or by the priests or the pope or bishops, and they also got a lot of difficulties. And similarly in India also, in the name of religion, in the name of guiding or whatever, in the name of preach, the power, the rights and the knowledge, everything was in the few people hands only, because in the name of Adhikaravada. So Swamiji is telling that, so West was dominated by few people, India is also not spared by that. India is also dominated by few people, exclusive rights, who claim that they are the caretakers, which is not right. And why he is saying that? Do not think that one alone is to help the world. In this creation of the impartial Lord, He has made every equal particle in the universe. In the God creation, everyone has got a right to live. Everyone has got equal freedom. So you cannot claim that you are the superior to someone, etc. And you cannot make exclusive rights for oneself, which is against the nature. Swamiji is telling very clearly. And he gives a beautiful logic. Even the most demonical man has got some virtues, and the most saint-like, he maybe have some limitations or the drawbacks or whatever. And he also gives one more important and interesting thing. A poor labor, who may be living in a slum, who may be living in thatched hut, but his power of resistance will be better. For example, he can drink the tap water. Now, why and you can drink the tap water? No. We all worship the Ganges, Calcutta Ganges, we all worship, but can we drink the Ganges directly? Calcutta Ganges? Definitely no, because of the pollution. But there are poor people who use, and their power of resistance or the health is much better. And he gives a reason that even if they get some wound or a muzzle cut and all, they will leave it and it gets sealed up. Whereas so-called advanced person or grown person and all, we say, for him, that the healing power, physical healing power is not there so easily. He can understand Vedanta, he can understand highest philosophy, whereas the poor person may not be able to. So everyone has got some capacities that we have to accept, that we have to admit. Now, whether on the ground of materialism or of intellect or of spirituality, the compensation that is given by the Lord to everyone impartially is exactly the same. Now everyone is grown with the different capacities, different abilities. Everyone has got something to contribute. We have to understand, we have to accept, and we have to respect. So live and let live should be the tagline of the society, not the survival of the fittest. So therefore, we must not think that we are the saviors of the world. That's what India thinks, that because Vedas are eternal, Vedas is very ancient, and if we don't give this Vedantic knowledge, world will be crushed. Similarly, West think that our religion is the great, or the West or the Middle East think that our religion is the great, our scripture is the ultimate, and if you follow that, you will become better. In that way, we are fighting each other, we are quarreling each other among the religions, among the civilizations or whatever. So that should not be done. And we can teach the world only what is waiting for. Many times, this is a great problem of our monks. Ami ready achi class nite bolte kintu kyu asche na, kyu sunte chai na. This is a great problem for the monks and the learned people. Isn't it? I am ready. I know so many things. Atato Brahma Jignasa, Brahma Sutra I can discuss. Well, but where are the people to listen or whatever? I mean, on the lighter side, I said. So we are ready to tell whatever we want, but the world doesn't want that. So we should know what the world wants, and accordingly we should give. That's what it is very interesting. The whole of Western civilization will crumble to pieces in the next 50 years if there is no spiritual foundation. So Swamiji is giving is telling what will happen in future. And literally happened, you see, in 15 years, they neglected the spirituality and world witnessed the two deadliest war, World War I and World War II. So Swamiji has sensitively, he has hinted. Now imagine 1897-98, Swamiji came to India. In India, what they were thinking, if not all, many of us, oh, West is beautiful, America is beautiful, Europe is beautiful, they are well advanced, they are ever perfect and all. Now Swamiji is telling that because they have neglected the spirituality, that's the reason, though they have got spiritual progress, the materialistic progress because of the industrial revolution, but the whole civilization is on the volcano. At any time, it can get problem. And as a result, they had 2 world wars. And Swamiji says that you cannot control the civilization or the world by the sword alone or by the government alone. Europe, the center of the manifestation of material energy, will crumble into dust within 50 years if she is not mindful to change her position, to shift her ground and make spirituality the basis of her life. And what will save Europe is the religion of the Upanishads. And we can see so many people got convinced and got influenced by Upanishads, and people did try to give some philosophy, some Upanishads thing. For example, if you want me to tell a few, just simple thing for an example, existentialism and phenomenology. These are the 2 isms started by Martin Heidegger and Jean Paul. Both were, influenced by Indian philosophical ideas, especially self and existence and all. And even the great psychologist Carl Jung, he was also influenced by Upanishads. And T.S. Eliot, who was a famous literate, and Hermann Hesse, both of them, they got influenced by Upanishads actually. The 2 Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, who the Wasteland as written by Eliot's famous poem, Wasteland. So it is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And Herman wrote a novel on Siddhartha. It also by Vedantic thought, basically. And in the science, if you see Erwin Schrödinger and Werner Heisenberg, they also were influenced by Vedanta and that of quantum physics and etc. things came. And Aldous Huxley, for an example, Aldous Huxley, he was also quite influenced by Upanishads. And like this, quite a few people, Paul Deussen, all these things, I can give some examples where they were all influenced by Vedanta and they brought some change in the Europe. Just I'm giving a historical perspective. So just when I tell all these things, you can understand how Swamiji was deep in his studies and how he is able to put all these things in a simple language in the nutshell. So now, I know some of you might be feeling boring. Yo, Swamiji speaks so many things. We are all bhaktas. Amra to bhakto achi. Ye sab niye ki korbo bolun to. So we're all devotees. What to do, Baba? Whether it is a government or a republic or democracy or whatever, what is there for all of us? I mean, we are not really concerned about it, probably. If you can take our bread and butter and if you can do some japa, that is more than enough. Yes, fine, but he's a prophet. He has to give some message, and he had some duties probably he has done. So till now, Swamiji spoke of history of India and history of world. Now, interestingly, he takes a diversion and he comes to philosophy. Now he starts off Vedanta. The last two, now from this year, 2-3 pages, such a master, one of the masterpiece I can say, such a beautifully he has spoken about the Vedanta and about our life, everything. Time and again, we should keep on reading this particular portion. That's what I feel. Now, Swamiji is telling that apart from different sects or philosophies and scriptures, there is a one underlying doctrine, the belief in the soul of man. Now, in the Indian philosophy, we have got 9 systems of philosophy. So there are 3 heterogeneous, and the unorthodoxy, and 6 orthodoxy systems mainly. Now, this Astika and Nastika darshanas are based on the acceptance of the Vedas. Whether you accept the existence of God or not, we are not bothered. We are only bothered whether you accept the authority of the Vedas or not. So, Charvaka, materialism, Jainism, Buddhism. These 3 philosophies, schools of philosophy, they didn't accept the authority of Vedas. Now, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Patanjala Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. 6 systems, they accepted the authority of Vedas. And among them, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, that is Patanjali Yoga. These, they accept the authority of Vedas, but they have got their own text to depend mainly. Now, Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa, that is Vedanta, they depend mainly on the Vedas only, Vedas or Upanishads. This is the difference. Now, Swamiji is telling every ism, every school of philosophy, there are differences. They have got acceptance and rejectance and whatever. But there's a one underlying doctrine which connects everyone, that they all accept the existence of the soul or the self. What is the nature of the soul or self? Whether it is eternal or not, whether it survives death or not, there is a difference of opinion, difference of views, but everyone accepts the doctrine of the self or belief in the soul of the man, which is common to all our sects, which is a connecting link between all our schools of philosophy, Swamiji is telling. So here we can see how Swamiji was such a genius to bring the fundamentals of Indian philosophy in such a beautiful way. Now he speaks of Hindus, Jains and Buddhists and all. Now even Buddhist doesn't accept self, isn't it? So the Buddhist doesn't accept the eternality of the self. They accept the self, but they don't accept the eternality of the self. Instead of that, they say it is made up of aggregate of 5 items or 5 entities. So we have to know that. So Charvakas, self means they don't accept again eternal self or body, mind only. Self is only accidental. They come with that. Now, after telling this, now he is speaking of Advaita Vedanta. Now, the nature of the self is what? It is the purity. The purity doesn't exist outside, it is inside. I am pure, I am impure. Self is ever pure. Then what about this purity and impurity? This purity and impurity belongs to mind. Then why I am doing all these spiritual practices, sadhana? For attaining liberation? For attaining liberation, not for the self, for your mind or for your subtle body. Because you are perfect, you were perfect, you will be perfect. You were pure, you are pure, you will be pure. You were free, you are free, you will be free. You means what? That self. Then what is about bondage and freedom? Then why should we do spiritual practices? All these things is only to clear the dirt or to clear the ignorance which is in your mind. So manayeva karanam bandha mokshayoho. Mind alone is the cause for your liberation and for your bondage. So correcting the mind, cleaning the mind is what we are doing actually. because through that only all reflections, all other transactions happens. But the real you is already perfect, already strong. You do not require any assistance to govern yourself. You are already self-restrained. The only difference is in knowing it or knowing it. Therefore, the only difficulty has been summed up in the word avidya. I am the self, no doubt, but I am thinking I am the body and mind, so and so. Why? Because of the ignorance, because of the avidya. So all our difficulties is what? Due to ignorance. Oh, I am ignorant about calculus. Is that? I am ignorant about trigonometry, or I am ignorant about European languages like Germany, France. Is it that? No. We are speaking of the ignorance of the self. Ignorance about the true nature of the self is the root cause of our problem. Then knowledge alone can help us. Now, Swamiji is telling, what a beautiful statement you see. Then what makes the difference between the God and the human being, the saint and the sinner? So intrinsically, everyone is divine. There is no difference. But still we find difference in our day-to-day life. Why? Because of only ignorance. What is the difference between the highest man and the lowest worm that crawls under our feet? Ignorance. That makes all the difference. Because for inside, the little crawling worm is large, infinite power, unknowledge and purity, the infinite divinity of God himself. It is unmanifested. It will have to be manifested. So all religion is the manifestation of the perfection which is already in man. Religion is a manifestation of the divinity which is already in man. Swamiji says that. Now, either the worm or the amoeba or the human being or the celestial being or the God, everyone is same from the intrinsical nature point of view. Only difference is because of the manifestation. There is only difference in manifestation. Or there is because of the ignorance, people are suffering. Now XYZ is happy and XYZ is not happy. Why? Because of the ignorance. And ignorance also includes karma also. This is the one great truth India has to teach to the world because it is nowhere else. This is spirituality, the science of the soul. So what is spirituality? Science of the soul, which describes the nature of the soul. Soul means yourself actually, because in the Western philosophy, soul means they confuse with the mind actually. So self is a better word, of course. Those times, because that was a common word, that's what Swamiji used. So I always say that self is a better word because soul they can confuse with the mind. So what makes a man stand up and work? Strength. Strength is goodness, weakness is sin. Now the strength can come from physical power, from muscles. Strength can come from our mental power, that is from our thoughts and emotions. And spiritual strength is what? From the self. That spiritual strength, which is pertaining to the self, which is reflected in the mind, then you call mental power, emotional power, intellectual power. When it is reflected when it is manifested in the muscles, in the physical form, then you say physical strength actually. So the source of strength is what? The self actually. So by seeking the self, by understanding the self and by experiencing it, then what happens? You will get more and more strength. Why spiritual people were so, they could face everything and all because of the strength. And the strength is originated from the self. And because their ignorance has been reduced or it has been lessened. If there's a one word that you find coming out like a bomb from the Upanishads, bursting like a bombshell upon masses of ignorance, it is the word fearlessness. So this is called abhi. Abhi, abhi. Abhi means what? Be fearless. So this is the essence of the Upanishads according to Swamiji. Now, according to me, the entire Swami Vivekananda's teachings can be summarized into two words. One is Shraddha, the other is Abhi. Shraddha is confidence in oneself, self-confidence. Shraddha, not only self-confidence, packed with the practice, self-confidence based on the divinity actually. The second is fearlessness. These are the two watchwords of Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. Of course, the Shraddha includes divinity. And Swamiji is telling that. And the only religion that ought to be taught is the religion of fearlessness. Either in this world or in the world of religion, it is true that fear is the sure cause of degradation and the sin. Why do I sin? Because of desires, that's the one. But if you see underlining current, it is because of the fear. Fear of losing, fear of loss, fear of not having, fear of insecurity. Because of that, we do sin, we do tell lies, we do all type of wrong things. It is the fear that brings misery, fear that brings death, fear that breeds evil. And what causes fear? Ignorance of our own nature. Now, the root cause is what? Ignorance. Ignorance of one's own nature is the true cause. The moment that is taken care, all the problems subside. That's where you see Vedanta is trying to resolve the problem at the root level, at the source level. For example, you got some problem from in the plant. You are trying to put medicines and all at the branches, leaves, twigs and all. To some extent, okay, but afterwards it may not be. But if you try to handle from the root of the tree itself, then that medicine will go to the every part of the branches and the problems can subside. Now, Vedanta is trying to resolve the problem at the source level, at the root level. By resolving this, every other problem can be taken care, or most of the things, of course. Oh, by resolving this, my hunger can be taken care. No, definitely. Body will have hunger. I have to cook, I have to earn money, I have to cook, bring materials, I have to cook, and I have to eat, no doubt. But the suffering will reduce. The main cause of suffering will reduce. So we cannot say that, oh, if I know that Atman, then hunger will go away. No, physical hunger will be there, no doubt. Each of us is heir apparent to the emperor of emperors. We are of the substance of God himself. Nay, according to the Advaita, we are God himself, though we have forgotten our own nature in thinking of ourselves as little men or women. So I am so-and-so, I am daughter of so-and-so, husband of so-and-so, wife of so-and-so, I am that, I am this. Like that, we have hypnotized ourselves with the limiting adjuncts. So Vedanta is asking us to dehypnotize that we are that self, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, and whatnot. I am a little better than you are, you than I, and so on. This idea of oneness is the great lesson India has to give. And mark you, when this is understood, it changes the whole aspect of things because you look at the world through other eyes than you have been doing before. So the idea of oneness, if it has been put into practice, spiritual problems, societal problems, country problems, this fighting, jealousy, all these things can be taken care. That is the greatness of Advaita Vedanta, and that is the greatness in putting into practice. Yeah, it is quite interesting. And if you think that you are the self, then what happens? You will not suffer in the battlefield that is called the world. Your body mind may suffer, but you will not suffer. And this world is no more a battlefield where each soul is born to struggle with every other soul, and the strongest gets victory and the weakest goes to death, etc., etc. That is what unnecessary competition, riding on each other, all these things will go away, and it becomes a beautiful playground. That's where I say, Thakur Swamiji, they were the excellent drama artist. We don't find anyone else. They came, Oder Janno Leela, Amader Janno Satyo, Etai Ashubide. So, because for all of them, this was Leela, it was never real. But for us, it is real, and we are suffering. The moment we understand it, the world will, the notion of reality changes, then it doesn't affect us. That's what I keep on telling. You will travel from what to so what. The moment reality, the notion of reality loses, then you are not more disturbed. You are not more, I give a toy example always. Toy example you can remember. So this is only a play, however terrible, hideous and dangerous it may appear. We have mistaken its aspect. When we have known the nature of the soul, hope comes to the weakest, the most degraded, the most miserable sinner. How Vedanta can help the humankind, Swamiji has told beautifully. So, only declares your Shastra, despair not. For you are the same whatever you do, and you cannot change your nature. Nature itself cannot destroy nature, and so on. So, Advaita, it brings hope to everyone. It brings hope to everyone and not despair. Its teaching is not through fear. He teaches not of devils who are always on the watch to snatch you if you miss your footing. It has nothing to do with the evils, but says that you have taken your fate in your own hands. Now, Swamiji links Advaita Vedanta with the karma theory beautifully. In the religion, what you say? If you don't do puja, you will incur sin. If you don't do Sandhya Vandana, Pratyamaya dosha, you will incur. If you don't do Pitru Tarpanas, then you may get wrath of your forefathers. All these things of fear has been introduced in the religions. But you say that Swami Vivekananda saying that Advaita doesn't teach any fear. Because our real nature is what? The existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. So it doesn't teach us fear, it doesn't teach us despair, it is the full of hope. Now, if someone is happy, if someone is not happy, that is because one is ignorance, the other is because of one's own actions. So, karma is not the fatalistic theory, karma is the science of infinite possibilities. Ki kora jai brahmo amar kapale janma korar age like feleche. Brahma ar kichu kachilo na ki. No, this is the rubbish idea. It is a very childish idea. Brahma doesn't write on your forehead what you should eat, what you should not eat. Brahma doesn't say that, oh, you may get rasgulla, you may get diabetes. Someone gets diabetes, he or she cannot eat rasgulla, and his or her friend has got no diabetes, and he or she is enjoying rasgulla. Is it Brahma is so partial? No. Then why did I get diabetes? Because of my lifestyle, because of my action, because of my stress, because of my genetics or my hereditary or whatever you say. So karma is not the fatalistic theory. Amar kapale chilo shejane holo. Amare kapale chilo tika আছে ওটা কে করলো আমাদের নিজের কর্ম করেছে আমরা যে করেছি এ জন্মে হোক অন্য জন্মে হোক আমরা ভুগছি এখন মানে we are experiencing it. Either I have done in this life or in the previous life, because of that I am experiencing this good and bad. So whatever I have done, I am experiencing it. You may say, I didn't know that. Fine, you might know or you might not know, but whatever you have done, you have to experience it. So again, karma is not fatalistic. So if you want to enjoy, do good actions. If you want to progress in your life, then do construct your life in a good habits, routine life, good habits, good nature, good work, action and all. Otherwise, if you are arrogant, if you are ignorant, and if you are wasting your time with unnecessary things and all, your life is not your life cannot progress. And all the responsibility of good and evil is on you. This is the great hope. What I have done that I cannot undo. And at the same time, our religion does not take away from mankind the mercy of the Lord. Again, Karuna, Sharanagati, Swamiji is beautifully connecting. So whatever I have done, I have to experience. Fine. So whatever I do, I am to experience. And whatever I have to do, that is in my hand. So take the responsibility of you. But you have done some mistake, some sin. Now you came to know what to do. If you shelter at the feet of Lord, He may help you. So why do we need surrender? Why do we to be surrender? He's telling. Because the God is the boundless, the ever merciful, is always ready to help us to other shore. For His mercy is great, and it always comes to the pure in the heart. So whoever takes real surrender at His feet, He is so merciful, all compassionate, He helps us. So your spirituality in a certain sense will have to form the basis of the new order of society. If we had more time, I could show how the West has yet more to learn from some of the conclusions of the Advaita Vedanta. For in those days of materialistic science, the ideal of the personal God does not count for much. And he also says the Gnana and the Bhakti, either with the philosophy of personal God, Ishtadevata, God with farm and worship and temples and religion, Bhakti Yoga, or the Advaita Vedanta based on logic and rational thinking, all these things. Both are wonderfully developed in India, and we should feel proud of it, and we should put into practice. Of course, last 2 pages, just I did a very fast explanation, cursory look. I think most of you can understand and read now, So you see how Swamiji links the Advaita Vedanta with the society and with oneself, karma theory, science and bhakti and all. Very interesting actually.
Maharaj, so in karma theory, how does it explain the pratyabhay?
Pratyabhay. Pratyabhay is the Swamiji links the Advaita Vedanta with the society and with oneself, karma theory, science and bhakti and all. Very interesting actually.
Maharaj, so in karma theory, how does it explain the pratyabhay? if we don't do the Nitya Karma and all.
Pratyavaya dosha.
Pratyavaya dosha.
Pratyavaya dosha means if you don't do karma means so yeah. There Vedas tell that as everyone has to do Sandhya Vandana, Agnihotra basically. Sandhya Agnihotra morning. Once you get that Upanayana, so everyone has to do Agnihotra. If you don't do Agnihotra, what happens? You will get a Pratyavaya dosha. So that is what the Vedic thing. Now this Pratyavaya dosha for whom? For your body and mind, not for the self. Because the self is neither, performer nor the enjoyer, according to the Advaita Vedanta. Now, this Pratyavaya dosha has spoken from the whom for Purva Mimamsas. For Purva Mimamsas, till your death, you have to keep on working. Because Svarga Kamo Ejeta. Because they are the desires of the Svargas. That's why for them, you have to do the Agnihotra. Because their basic axioms are different, you see, from the Advaita Vedanta.
So in karma theory, how does that karma theory explains it? Means here you said that karma theory, if you do good, you will get good result. If you do bad, you will get bad result, and it does not affect that Pratyavaya theory and all. So
Pratyavaya theory, did I tell you? No, I didn't tell you.
Something means there is no this Pratyavaya theory in karma philosophy.
No, I didn't tell Pratyavaya theory at all. I don't know. From where did you get this point now? First question is. No. I only told when the religion instills the fear, they say, if you don't do Sandhya Vandana, you will get Pratyavaya dosha. For example, when we are children, if you, our mothers or grandmothers might have said, morning, if you don't get and do prayer, then you'll get some problem. Or if you don't, for example, the Shraddha time and some ceremonies are there. If you don't do that, our forefathers will come and at night they will take away our eyes and go away. Like that, they try to instill the fear in us. So similarly, Purva Mimamsa says that if you don't do Agnihotra, you will get Pratyavaya dosha. So if you don't do this, you will get this problem. If you don't do this, you will get this sin. You will incur this sin. So through this, they are trying to make us to do something. So they are instilling the fear. While explaining that, I told this Pratyavaya dosha.
So means for the karma yogins, they don't have this fear thing.
Yeah. No. Yes. Now, see, that's where I'm saying that the example should be taken very carefully in the context. Now, this Pratyavaya dosha has been told by Vedas from the Purva Mimamsakas. For Purva Mimamsakas, they don't have a interest, neither they have an interest, nor they have a desire of realization or self-knowledge. They want to go and they want to attain Swarga. Isn't it? As a result, for them, if you want to do Swarga, then you have to do Yagnas. And as a part of Yagna, you have to do Pratyavaya. Okay. So that is what Veda has told. It is a duty there. So it is a Nitya Karma. You have to take a bath. It is your Nitya Karma as a duty, isn't it? So similarly, doing Agnihotra is a Nitya Karma. By doing that, you don't get any special result. But if you don't do it, you will get a Pratyavaya dosha. You will incur the sin called Pratyavaya. That is what they say, the Purva Mimamsakas. Okay. Now, Swamiji is speaking of Karma Siddhanta. Now, if you do good action, you will get good results. If you do bad action, you will get bad results. Now, by not doing good action, you are getting bad result means what? In general, if you don't do good action, your mind will turn into bad actions, bad thinking. Action is not physical action only. Empty mind is devil's workshop. So you can say that your mind will be thinking unnecessary thinking. It may be brooding unnecessary thoughts and things and all. By that, you are not going to get anything. So if you do good action, you will get good results. If you do bad action, you will get bad results. So science of infinite possibilities means what? Being happy and being unhappy is in your hand. So generally we say, I am happy because of someone, XYZ, because I am unhappy because of someone, XYZ, we tell. It is not true. They are all only nimittas. But because I am happy or I am unhappy because of me alone. Me alone means what? One is ignorance, the other is from the karma. Whatever the actions I have done, good actions and bad actions, because of that I'm experiencing favorable and unfavorable circumstances, situations, people, all these things. Yeah. I hope I cleared your thinking. These last two pages are very interesting, actually. You have to.
And at the end, what he says is that yes, means we are responsible for all our good and evil deeds, but still, if we repent, probably then we can take refuge on God, and so that option is also there.
Yes. So now you understand that, yes, I knowingly or unknowingly I've done some sins and I've committed blunders and all. So you should feel bad about it. And if repentance, by repentance includes that you should be sincere, that you should try at most that you should not do that mistake again. So that includes, okay, so I'm repenting. ও ঠাকুর আমাকে ক্ষমা করে দিন, আমি ভুল করেছি। প্রার্থনা করার পরে আবার আসার পরে আবার আমরা স্টার্ট করছি, কি করেছে, আমি তো মানে নিম্ন মানুষ, আমার তো শক্তি নেই, না, এটাও চলবে না। তবে so this you have to be very clear. So I'm repenting with Thakur, I'm asking you to forgive, and but still afterwards we continue the same blunder, mistake. No, then we are hypocrites. So by repenting and by taking shelter at the feet of the Lord, he forgives and he helps us to come up in the life. That's what he means. Why do we need Sharanagati? Or by taking Sharanagati, by taking surrender at the feet of the Lord, what do one can get? So I'm just told beautifully in that one or two sentences.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Mm.
So this talk is over, I think.
And already, I mean, also the ideas has been discussed elsewhere in different ways, of course.
Maharaj, namaskar and pranam. Maharaj, I have a question. The thing is, you said that Swamiji has put the materialistic, this thing as spiritual, both combined, etc., etc., and dharma, kam, moksha. So, my question to you is, ideal devotee, what should be the aim as per you?
How can I say that? It is left to the person. How can I say that? What ideally should be there? Ideally should be there, Swamiji, I mean, Thakur bole diyechen, to why should I tell again? মনুষ্য জীবনের উদ্দেশ্য কি? ঈশ্বর লাভ, isn't it? So it is not, Thakur didn't tell it is only for devotees or non-devotees. মনুষ্য জীবনের মানে everyone is included there. When everyone is included, even including devotees also. Now whether you accept it or not, whether you practice it or not, that is up to left to them. So when Thakur has told very clearly, then why should I give some other idea or some other goal for you? Then Thakur will come and hold my collar. You fellow, you are going away from me. When I have given clearly, why should you give something else? So it is whether, see, that's what I keep on telling in a simple language. Whether you practice Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, or Japa Yoga, or any other yoga, there is a choice. There's an option given. But whether to practice spirituality or not, our scriptures have not given an option for us. Of course, we take it, that is difference. That is a different issue, different question. But the Vedas or scriptures have not given an option for us, whether to be spiritual or not. So in the spirituality, there is no option. Only in the practices, spiritual practices, we have got option. It is like whether to wear cloth or not, there is no option in the civilized world. But whether you want to wear shirt, whether you want kurta pajama or pant and shirt, half pant and free shirt or formals, yes, there is an option. There is a choice. So like that, we have to understand very clearly there.
I received my answer, Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a question now. The class has ended. So after the class, can I call you on phone for 1 or 2 minutes?
I've got so many missed calls. Maybe a little later.
Like how much? 1 hour or 2 hours?
Yeah, maybe 1 hour. Yeah, or 45 minutes. Yes.
I will not take more than 2-3 minutes. This much I can tell you.
Okay. Okay.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj, then we will meet next Wednesday with Sri Ramchandra's.
Yeah, Purushottam Ram. Yeah.
And with this, Swamiji's lectures, we will come back after your America visit.
Yeah.
So you will be returning in mid May or
12th of May. Yeah.
okay. So you will give the time after that.
After my coming. Mm. Yes, I also need some rest.
Yes.
Some leave.
And jet lag and all.
Yeah, jet lag is there. And the to east and west and all I'm traveling. So they say that it will have a much effect. I don't know. Change in weather, food, and the times, jet lags and all. Yeah.
So I wish you a very what to say, fulfilling US visit.
Happy journey.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Yeah. Yeah. ভালো থাকবেন আগামী সপ্তাহ দেখবো
Next বুধবার দেখা হবে।
প্রণাম মহারাজ।
প্রণাম মহারাজ।